expand your minds as we go deep into the mystery of our expanding universe. Welcome back to Futureland, your friendly and most reliable source of tech news, the latest gadgets, and anything related to the tech world. The universe as we know it is vast enough for mankind to be curious about what lies ahead in space. Given our limited knowledge, scientists in different scientific fields have discovered beyond the comprehension of an average person. Our modern-day technological advancements gave birth to the emergence of well-thought astronomical research. This paved the way for scientists to be equipped with wonderful and mind-boggling facts about our universe. They discovered that our solar system contains constellations, galaxies, and other celestial bodies. Astronomers have discovered recently that our solar system and galaxy are just a minute component of what it really is. Our planet's solar system is located in the Milky Way galaxy. In the Latin perspective, they use lactea, a word that connotates milky circle. This galaxy may be seen in our night skies as a hazy ring of light. In 1610, the theory that the dispersed lights contain a constellation of stars was discovered by Galileo Galilei and his telescope. Remarkably, a team comprised of Edwin Hubble, Heber Curtis, and Harlow Shapley found out that the Milky Way is not a solitary galaxy as many others exist as well. The D25 isotope diameter of the galaxy is 26.8 plus or minus 1.1 kiloparsecs, which indicates its spirality. As discovered, its clusters are roughly 1,000 light-years compact within the dark matter region. The Milky Way galaxy is a constituent of the VIRGO cluster of galaxies, which is a part of a larger cluster known as the Laniakea. According to astronomers, the Milky Way has numerous neighboring galaxies. It reportedly contains more or less 400 billion stars and planets. Our solar system stands around 27,000 light-years from the center of the galaxy of the Orion Arm. Located in the core of the Milky Way sits the star, namely Sagittarius A, believed to contain exceptional radial routes. The stars are also believed to circle around the galaxy at a speed of 220 kilometers per second at varied ranges. Experts claim that perhaps the Milky Way's steady traverse speed defies Keplerian kinematics. They also determined most of the chaos is invisible to astronomers because it does neither produce nor consume electromagnetic energy. This chaos is known as dark matter. It is said that the galaxy traverses at 600 kilometers per second. In the context of interplanetary perspectives, scientists have determined that the oldest constellations in the Milky Way were approximately as old as the universe itself, and so formed right after the famous Big Bang. Experts stated that the Milky Way and Andromeda are two of the true primary galaxies clusters in the immediate cluster. The Milky Way galaxy has a size that ranges from 890 billion to 1.54 trillion times that of the Sun. As of now, scientists using cutting-edge technology have discovered that there is an activity going on within just one galaxy. The region amongst the constellations is inhabited by a region of gas known as the interstellar medium. But there is also a lot going on beyond the Milky Way. In fact, scientists just discovered things exceedingly alarming around 730 million light-years away from Earth. It is safe to assume that scientists have a penchant for series of events and crashes. They are always trying to find a larger and a stronger one. But what's grander than an explosion caused by the collision of two solar systems' greatest elements? A piece of recent evidence on February 2022 was revealed to the entire humanity in the Journal of Astronomy and Astrophysics. Perhaps the most photographs of a massive blast wave ever taken. A fascinating galactic complex has been named Able 3667. It is comprised of two clusters of galaxies clashing with each other. In truth, Able 3667 is host to 550 distinct galaxies that are progressively merging as one massive galactic mess. Scientists have discovered a massive shockwave as a result of the collision of both these two galaxy clusters. Most telescopes can currently see it well. but this galactic encounter has caused a tremendous wave of disruption in the area. To see the radio traces of both shockwave's parts, researchers used the Meerkat Radio Telescope Array. Although it may have only recently been discovered, the shockwave is by no means a new phenomenon. In reality, the first collision between two galaxy clusters that make up Abell 3667 caused it to emerge almost 1 billion years ago. The largest gravitationally bound formations in the entire cosmos include galaxy clusters. Furthermore, massive amounts of energy are released when two clusters join. Since the Big Bang, this explosion is believed by scientists to have unleashed the most energy in a single event. The Abell 3667 is also investigated by the XMM-NEWTON X-ray Observatory. You can see the middle is white in this image of Abell 3667 if you observe carefully. This is actually a collection of 550 distinct galaxies. Except that the red colors on either side are energy waves that were generated during the formation of this cluster of galaxies. In the area of research devoted to comprehending the merger of galaxy clusters, this finding is now seen to completely change space discovery. However, there are more amazing discoveries made in space over the past years. Under the guidance of Chong Jie, a group of astronomers from the University of Alabama used the Subaru telescope, a multi-unit spectroscopic explorer, and the XMM-NEWTON X-ray telescope to perform the research. They found a massive cloud of hot, slightly glowing gas that is far larger than the Milky Way galaxy in distant space. It is likely that the unique cosmic gas cloud that we are viewing was detached from a galaxy. This discovery, according to physicist Ming Sun of the University of Alabama, shows that there are continuously new discoveries to be made in the field of astronomy. This cloud was termed an orphan cloud by the investigation, which also revealed that its temperature ranged from 10,000 to 1 billion Kelvin. The fact that this cloud's temperature matches that of a gas that may be found inside galaxies supports the idea that it was torn from a galaxy as it traveled through space. Additionally, Dr. Sun disclosed that the cloud was discovered in the Leo cluster, also known as Abell 1367, which is home to close to 70 galaxies and is roughly 300 million light-years from Earth. The gas had been stripped from its galaxy for a very long time, and the scientists were curious as to why it hadn't disintegrated. According to their measurements, a magnetic field has the power to retain a gas cloud against turbulence for a considerable amount of time. The study team is hopeful that this cloud will help them find the group and galaxy it belongs to. This information will also assist scientists in the future in locating other clouds much like that as well. This cloud is viewed by researchers as observational data supporting the idea that the intercluster medium can strip galaxies of their gas. For scientists, the absence of something unusual might occasionally provide a bigger problem than that of existence. University of Michigan researchers were attempting to measure the redshifts of several galaxies back in 1981. They built a three-dimensional representation of the cosmos, and as it took shape, they saw something odd. A vast emptiness with a nearly spherical section that was about 330 million light-years across was noticed by researchers from a distance of 700 million light-years from Earth. Even the Milky Way could fill in the space a billion times over, but there were hardly any galaxies there. It was once referred to as the Big Nothing, but eventually became known as the Bootes Void, because it is thought to be located in the constellation of Bootes. From then on, numerous accurate maps of the universe were made. Now, we recognize that the majority of galaxies are located as long formations called filaments that flow through space. There are vast empty spaces with few galaxies between these strands. The observable cosmos turns out to be made up of about 80% of these voids, ranging in size from 30 to 300 million light-years. Bootes, also known as the supervoid, is among the biggest voids known to existence. These discoveries, along with others, gave astronomers a peek into the universe's beginning of existence. However, the constant release of information about new cosmic discoveries is also scary, because it simply serves to highlight how few we actually understand concerning the vast universe. But scientists think that no amount of worry should prevent us from learning as much as we can about space. Well, what do you think? Want to know more about outer space? Well, visit our channel for more and let's discuss it in the comment section down below. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to be notified whenever we have a new upload. This is Futureland. Thank you for watching and we'll see you in our next video.